Hello, welcome to On the Couch, a weekly video series where we speak to mental health professionals about a range of issues affecting us as men and women in the Caribbean. My name is Tracie Rogers. Today I have with us counseling psychologist Trishsanna Poyah-Rasul, and we are talking about something that we encounter as clinicians often. People go to the internet, they type in what they think is going on with them, and they come up with a diagnosis. So we really want to talk about the fact that going to search engines on the internet could be very useful, but it can also be very dangerous, and we need to be careful. So we want to talk a lot about that today. Why is it not a good idea to go to the internet and put in what I'm feeling to figure out what's going on with me?
Well, first of all, and this is the biggest point, is that you're a unique human being, right? You're a unique being, and no Google search can define you as a person because you come from a unique history, you have a unique personality type, you know, you have a unique temperament, you have a unique way you create social relationships and intimate relationships. So typing a list of symptoms into Google is only going to give you a suggestion as to what might be wrong.
So Bing and Yahoo may be excellent to find out other things, but when it comes to finding out who you are, there is no search engine that can tell you what's going on with you.
Yes.
So why can't a professional tell you though?
Because a professional is trained in putting your symptoms into context and kind of taking into consideration all of those things that I mentioned before. And, you know, taking into consideration what's going on with you right now, as well as your symptoms. So what's happening in your environment right now, as well as your symptoms, and really giving you an accurate diagnosis if needed.
That's another thing, if needed. Yeah. The mind is such a complex instrument. Sometimes what you really need, you don't have something that needs to be diagnosed.
Exactly. And what can happen is that either you get an overestimation if you Google what's going on with you, an overestimation of what's wrong. So test anxiety, which is something everybody experiences, turns into generalized anxiety disorder. Or an underestimation. Maybe you do have generalized anxiety disorder and, you know, WebMD or whatever might be showing you that, you know, a certain amount of anxiety is healthy, which it is, but you might be underestimating your own anxiety or depression.
Yeah, so you can run to any one of these extremes and at the end do yourself a bigger disservice.
Yeah, and in addition to that, you can develop what I've recently come to learn, that term Cyberchondria.
Yes, let's talk about Cyberchondria.
So Cyberchondria is similar to hypochondria, which we're familiar with, is that Googling and really trying to search to see if something is wrong with you. And that addiction that happens to searching, that intolerance to uncertainty that develops when I don't know what's happening to me. So I need to look it up.
And then so you end up diagnosing yourself with multiple things, number one. Number two, sometimes you end up spending more money because you're going to, so for instance, you Google something or you Bing something or you Yahoo something and you find, oh, this is what's going on. You decide that you need to go to a specialist.
Yes.
And that specialist then says, well, no, you don't need me, you need this.
Exactly.
So, you know, when you start with a visit to a counselor, professional counselor, you can then it can then be determined if you need to go on and do something else.
Exactly.
Or you jump straight through, oh, the person said this is what I need, so I go and I buy all of these things.
Yes.
Trying to treat a problem that you have misdiagnosed.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've been guilty of this. I mean, I've had multiple headaches and I Googled it and, you know, WebMD told me I had brain cancer. Right?
Yeah.
So I think we're all guilty of it at some point in time, but it's important to recognize what it does to the body, how it stimulates anxiety, that fear sensor, that amygdala part of the brain creates new neural connections so that we are feeling more and more anxious the more we Google things.
Yeah, absolutely. So moving forward, key takeaway messages we want our audience to go with.
One is definitely be aware that these things happen when you do Google things. So be aware that you are creating your own anxiety and you are facilitating it if you do continue to Google it. And peace of mind is priceless.
Yeah.
Peace of mind is definitely priceless. So yes, it might seem that we might be saving money by Googling and trying to find out what's happening, but we might be spending more money on going to different specialists for different things. So it might be useful to, get a consultation and from a professional who can help you out.
I think it's also important to know that when you go searching things, you can actually be causing harm to your relationships.
Oh yes,
I cannot tell you how many times someone has come in and they have said, I looked it up and my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife is a narcissist.
Yes.
Or they have borderline personality disorder. These things are not things that we diagnose lightly. Some of these things are not even things that psychologists and therapists can diagnose.
Exactly.
So, and meeting that criteria is very distinct, and you cannot determine it by something that you find in a search engine.
And one of the things that we do called confirmation bias is that, when we see that maybe they fit all of these things, we start acting like, okay, this person is a narcissist.
Yes, and then in the middle of an argument, we said, you know what, you're a narcissist. I looked it up. And so before you know it, your relationship is falling apart.
Yeah.
So take the time to figure out what's going on and find a qualified, trusted professional who can do that. We offer a consultation service here. It's free of charge. It's a phone call. It's 15 minutes. Based on our consultation, sometimes we may determine that you don't need to come in to see somebody, or perhaps what you need is something else. And we would say to you, this agency isn't a good fit, but this might be someplace for you to go. So don't run into the search engines for your mental health issues.
Yes.
And really reach out to a professional who could help you. So information is on the screen if you want to reach out to us. Thank you so much, Trishsanna, for joining us today. Continue to take care of yourself. Be well.